Good afternoon, and welcome to the STS-125 crew news briefing on the first images from the refurbished NASA Hubble Space Telescope. Space Shuttle Atlantis STS-125 mission upgraded the telescope in May with state-of-the-art instruments, leaving more powerful than ever and extending its life into the next decade. Joining us here today is the crew. Let me begin by introducing its commander, Scott Altman. Scott?
Well, thank you very much. It really is an exciting moment for us all to be here today and have our first look, just as you all had today at these images, was a tremendous treat. I was the commander of the mission, charged with leading this tremendously talented and motivated group of 6 incredible crew members. Also, as we worked with folks really across the entire agency preparing for this mission, it has been just an incredible journey. I look back at Hubble, launched nearly 20 years ago. It's been on its journey. We as a crew assigned nearly 3 years ago, working together, thousands of hours preparing for this mission, getting ready, then actually launching, flying the mission, doing the spacewalks, having drama every day that kept me on the edge of my seat, wondering if the things we were trying to do up there were going to be successful. Could we get all the tasks accomplished? Finally deploying Hubble, seeing it drift out of sight to continue on its journey, and then us coming home and waiting to see if what we did actually worked. And now to have these results, these first images come out is just an incredibly exciting time for me and I think the whole Hubble team. It really is just the beginning. I'm excited about the future and I just can't wait. Thank you.
And I am the pilot, Greg Johnson. I'd like to say that I pretty much did what our administrator did on his Hubble mission. I was the pilot and did the ascent entry, Scooter's right-hand man for ascent entry and rendezvous, and then also ran a IMAX in the payload bay and shot some of the scenes for an IMAX movie that will come out in March. It's great to be here. It's really a highlight of my life to be on the Hubble mission and with this group.
Thanks, Ray J. Hi, I'm Colonel Mike Good, active duty Air Force, at least for another 21 days, when I'll follow in the footsteps of my Navy brothers here into retirement from the military and can join the rest of the crew in civil service with the government. On this mission, I was a mission specialist. I was on the flight deck during ascent and during the rendezvous. I got to go outside on 2 spacewalks with my good friend Mike Massimino, where we wrestled with some rate sensor units, installing those with some very tight tolerances. These new gyros give the telescope the ability to point so accurately, which enable the images and spectrography that we saw in the recent release images. Really, to work, on a team like this, to work on a project like Hubble is really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get to do something that's really meaningful, that has a great impact to science, to help answer and help unravel some of the questions like literally where do we come from and what's our place in the universe. It's been really gratifying. And now we can kind of sit back and watch Hubble inspire others.
I'm Megan MacArthur. I was the flight engineer for launch and landing, also for rendezvous. I was the primary robotic arm operator, so we used the robotic arm to inspect the surface of the space shuttle to make sure that it's safe for re-entry, and 5 of us actually participated in those inspections. We also used the telescope, the arm, of course, to grab hold of the telescope once we've completed the rendezvous and park it in the payload bay. Then during all of the spacewalks, one of the crew members is typically on the end of the robotic arm, and I drive that around to put them in position to do their work. And at the end of the flight, we use the robotic arm again to pick up the telescope and launch it over the side to continue its mission of discovery. There was a little controversy about who was the last person to touch the telescope, so I'll just put in my bid for having been the last one to cause it to move. So that was my claim to fame. But I'll just echo what my crewmates have said, that it's been a real privilege to be a part of this team. And really, I'm in awe of the human ingenuity that could conceive of such a thing and then make it happen, and the energy that it took to do all of that by people across the country. It's been a real honor to be part of the Hubble family, which has been around a long time before I was adopted into it, and I'm really proud to say that I'm a part of that family. Thanks.
I'm John Grunsfeld. I was the lead spacewalker on the flight. This was my third trip to Mr. Hubble, the telescope, and so it was really wonderful to see him again. We had 4 spacewalkers, 5 back-to-back spacewalks. On this mission, we did some of the instrument repairs, as you know, the Wide Field Camera 3 and the Cosmic Ordnance Spectrograph. But we also tried 2 rather complex, in fact, maybe the most complex repairs ever done in space. I think that's going to rank as one of the highlights of this mission, is that we've really advanced spaceflight. It was a tour de force of tools, of human ingenuity, of teamwork, and we have some of our tools laid out in front of us here for the folks that are here in the audience to see. But it was an incredible team effort. We knew it was going to be challenging. We weren't sure it was all going to succeed. And I'm just incredibly happy to see the images as they've come out, that we've not only got 2 brand new instruments that are far and away the best instruments ever in space. Earlier someone asked about ground-based telescopes. Hubble easily matches and exceeds every ground-based telescope on planet Earth right now in many measures, and we saw that in the release images. As we started training, we had some first-time flyers, both in space and to Hubble, and one of our rules for everyone was don't break the Hubble. And so once we landed and we were safe and the mission was complete, of course we were on the edges of our seat to make sure that, one, we hadn't broken the Hubble, but more importantly, that the things that we had done were meaningful and that they worked. And it's incredibly gratifying to see the results, the early results, not that the work we've done is really complete, but more so that the telescope has established that the instruments are working, and now it's the beginning of the really great adventure, which is when the science comes out.
Mike Massimino. This was my second trip to Hubble, and after my first trip, I appreciated the opportunity, and I was a little bit sad that I had to say goodbye to the Hubble family, and it was wonderful to be reassigned again to a Hubble flight and to get to work with everyone on the Hubble team again. And during this mission, I was on the spacewalking team with Mike Good. Had a chance to be outside for the repair of the Space Telescope Imaging Spectrograph, one of those repairs that we've been talking about, and also the replacement of the gyroscopes, which point the telescope, and replace the battery. And when these 2 guys were outside, I had a chance to be inside and watch them work and help them out going over the checklist with the choreography. It's really a pleasure to be here today. It's great to have the telescope working and to see these images. And we finished up our work and closed up the telescope and sent it on its way, and thought we had done everything right. We were pretty sure that everything was going to work, and so it's really great to see the evidence that it actually does work, and those images just look great. And I am so grateful that it's working and that I didn't break anything that we know of so far. I didn't break anything that would hurt the telescope from working.
Thanks. I'm Drew Foistel. I'm mission specialist number 5. That's why I'm sitting on the end. I always sit at the end of the line when we sit down as a crew. But I was sitting on the mid-deck for the mission, both uphill and downhill, and was responsible for the portable onboard computing system, as well as managing some of the stowage on the vehicle in preparation for launching and making sure all that was taken care of. This was my first space flight, and I had the unique opportunity of having 3 space flights, or 3 spacewalks on this mission with John Grunsfeld, and also had the privilege of being the one to release the Wide Field Camera 2 bolt, which really just meant that I got to push harder and harder until that bolt broke free, and now we see these amazing images from Wide Field Camera 3. So I'm happy that all worked out, and it's really an honor to be here. And I just want to say that when we were up there and doing that work, I really felt like I was standing on the shoulder of the giants down on the ground that really made it all happen. And I'm thankful for the individuals, including my family, and the organizations that helped put this all together for us. We all felt this was a unique opportunity for us and a rare privilege, and we hope that we did a good job for you. And it looks like with the image releases that at least we've got part of it right, and we'll continue to see good successes with the telescope.
And I just want to kind of close this part by saying thanks to you all, the crew, for the work that you did, for training for this mission, and the efforts that you put forth. Really appreciate that. One part of the team, we couldn't have done it without you and the rest of the team. It really is a testament to the ingenuity of the folks. As each Hubble mission is built upon the last, trying harder and harder things to do in space, that we've been able to achieve the restoration of those two instruments, installing new ones, extending its life. It's an incredible team that I've been proud, very proud to be a part of with all of you and everyone out there. An incredible instrument. I think just as we look back at Galileo's telescope that first looked at the